Welcome to the Red Half of Sheffield, back for another preview podcast. I apologize for my voice. Late night Georgia football game, and as you can tell, my voice sounds like someone stepped on it for the last 8 to 12 hours. That's a long-winded intro to why we are here to preview the Steel City Derby, or as everyone knows it, Chef Wednesday versus Chef United, to preview how bad Sheffield United are going to get their ass kicked on Sunday by their rivals. I'm joined by Stevie from the Wednesday Week podcast. Stevie, how are you doing on this early afternoon UK time, early morning stateside?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm all good. I'm excited about your pessimism when it comes to all things Sheffield United and the Steel City Derby. So it's a turn up for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Looking forward to hearing what you've got to say.
Yeah, no, I mean, as we said pre-recording, I just I've said this, it's almost like back in the day for the younger people that are listening to this. When you wanted to listen to the cassette, you had to put it in and you had to rewind it to play it through, or to start over. I feel like I'm just on repeat of it's just we're not moving forward. Tufty's come in and his magic wand is probably stuck somewhere up his ass, or lost in one of the 5,000 cheeseburgers he's drove in over the last 10 odd years. But no, on a Wednesday front, from afar, I don't want to see any club go through the shit that Wednesday went through. So in a short, sum up what happened to Wednesday for the ones that are the outsiders and don't really pay too much attention.
I think the main sort of crux of the situation, we could go on about the last 4 or 5 years with the former chairman going back to the original penalising for the points for not submitting the taxes or the finances in the right year, which has effectively got us relegated in 2019-20, I think it was 2021. But to sort of bring things to a head, if you like, we've not been paying players regularly. He has, how can you put this? He's basically been a little bit um, unprofessional in the way that he's run the business. He stopped talking to us. He stopped listening to advice. He wouldn't engage with anybody. The engagement panel ended up having people disengaged. And as people that are listening to this probably are probably aware, we've been sanctioned again, minus 12 points. We're the first team, I believe, that have got 6 embargoes at the same time. You name it, he's done it, and it's happened to us. The stadium continues to fall apart. It's a bit of a joke, really, isn't it, when you think about it? And I know that there will be Sheffield United fans that'll be tuning into this going to get what they deserve and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
From my point of view, I'm one of those who, for anybody that knows me, will be aware that I actually grew up on Sharrow. I grew up in Sharrow, which is literally half a mile up the road from Bramall Lane. All my friends were Unitedites as kids. I'm the kind of guy that, although I'm a Wednesday fan, my utopia, if you like, when it comes to football is us finishing first and United would finish second in a league, and that's good for the city. It's good for football. I'm the kind of guy that wants that friendly rivalry. I don't want to see foul of United, and I think it's important that we continue that. And if there's a United out there that goes, I hope it all goes to pot. I'd ask you what you'd do without us. To be
Yeah,
fair,
exactly.
things haven't been great for us. Things up and down for you guys. I'm surprised at how you started the season, if I'm totally honest with you, with the money that's been spent and the players that you brought in. On paper, you should be much further up the league than you are. But it all makes for interesting preparations. It makes for an interesting Sunday lunchtime next week. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm cautiously thinking that it's going to be a lot closer than people might expect it to be.
Yeah, I'm certainly in agreement with you. And to key on your point, there's no rivalry if there's not two sides to it.
Hmm.
That's what I would say to all the United supporters. Oh, I hope they get banished and they fold as a club. And then what do? You're just gonna be out there in the streets like, oh, we made them go out of business. They went out of business. Now there's nobody here. It's just like what the fuck? It's like, dude, come on. I mean, you narrow
You go
minded.
and poke Rotherham. You can go and poke Rotherham or Bath.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that's not fun. And you know, it's this game is this derby is, I think it's one of the most underrated in England as a whole because the lights don't get shed on it as much because it really hasn't been a Premier League fixture for the longest time, and it's either been a championship fixture or it's been we haven't been in the same division, so we haven't played each other. So I mean, to the fact that we get this 2 times a year this season, and probably, well, if you guys aren't able to overcome your minus points differential, we won't have it for at least the next. Well, hell, we're in the relegation zone too, so it might continue next year. So shit, let's hope it all goes to shit. But
League One Steel City Derby 2027.
Yeah, right. I'm in agreement with you 100% that yes, I like the rivalry, but if in both respects, I want us to do as good as we possibly can because then, like you said, it sheds light on the city and how good the city's. Now we're like it almost coincides with each other. Like over the last 5 years, we've been absolutely shit in whatever division we were in. You guys are absolute shit in whatever division you were in. And then it was like we were the top of the championship. You guys were top of League One, and you're like, okay, the city's doing good. And now it's like, well, both teams are anchored to the bottom of the table. And like, oh yeah, City of Sheffield, yeah, they're really good for fucking football. But so now that the club has moved on from, we won't speak that idiot's name anymore. What is the direction? I think the last time I heard 10 prospects buyers have came in to look at Wednesday.
Yeah, that's right. So the situation at the moment, we went into administration and people kind of looked at that from the outside looking in. People go, oh God, Wednesday, I feel really sorry for them. Oh, it's almost like when you see that relative that's or that person that's lost a relative, or a friend that's had something unfortunate, and people look at you really sympathetically and go, oh, it's so bad that this has happened to you. We feel really sorry for you. Where, on our side of things, we're actually celebrating the fact that the previous chairman's gone, and within an hour of admin coming in, they were in the north stand ripping the seats out. We painted over his name. He's literally been erased from existence as much as possible. From a club point of view, we've been put into administration by an organisation called Begbie's Trainer. And they have vast experience in administrative processes with football. So they oversaw Wigan. They've been involved with other clubs. I think previously they've done bits down with Nottingham Forest. I'll stand corrected. Certainly 3 or 4 other clubs that have gone into administration. They've come in. The co-administrator is a guy called Chris Wigfield, who coincidentally is from Sheffield and is a big Sheffield Wednesday fan. So he has literally gone, right, I know what's going wrong in terms of the day-to-day running of the club, and he's not cheating. There's not anything going on. All he's done is now listening to the fans. So this is what we need. Okay, by the way, we're going to lower the ticket prices for the Norwich game to get as many people in there as possible. This is what we need. We need more of our ex-players in the club shops. And one thing I'll say about United, they've got that heritage of people. You can look at it. The stadium has got players all over it, former players. They connect. They look back on that sort of thing. It's something that we haven't done under the previous chairman. Now all of a sudden you've got Wadler, you've got Hurst, you've got Sterland, Terry Curran. All these people are now coming back and doing meet and greets, speaking highly of the club, photo opportunities. The feel good factor is back. We got hit with the -12. We've been told that we can't sign any players. We're kind of going, so what? Because the bigger picture is we've set a target or a price, should we say, of £50 million. Now, if you've got £50 million and you can prove that you have £50 million to enter a data room, that's your registration of interest, at which, as it stands at the moment, we've got 11 companies. And there are some organisations, if you want to believe, there's some really high highly regarded organisations from your side of the water that are looking at us as well. We've got some local businesses, we've got some Europeans looking at us. There's rumours of Qatari interest. So it's a really exciting time, we're not talking millions, by the way. There are people, based on rumours, that are saying, we've got billionaires that are looking at us. So from that perspective, we're in, or we will be in good shape. What we've got to do in the interim is we've got to make sure that we're as competitive as we can be on the field, because what we need to do is try and attract these prospective buyers to come and say, look at the prospect that we're going to be. At the end of the day, we are bottom of the league. I think we're on -4, I think it is at the moment. We've stopped looking at the table. I believe it's -4. But we are getting 29,000 people through the gate at Norwich, and we're going to sell out next weekend at Hillsborough. And all of these things are going to be taking place and happening for a club that is likely to be relegated, that can't sign any players, that's got a stadium that's falling apart. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to market the club to the point where we're going, come and have a look at how things could be. We talk about Sheffield, and I know we were speaking off air about the city itself. I'm staunch Sheffield. I love it. I'm proud to be from where I am from, and I want people to come and look at the city and think it's a great prospect, bang in the centre of the country. So these people that are coming over can make it something of a hub beyond the football clubs on both sides of the city. You look at places like Liverpool and the growth there, Manchester over time, the growth there. They've got two relatively successful football teams in their cities. We don't play each other enough because we haven't been successful enough. My aspiration is to get both teams in the Premier League. Like I said, us finishing one place above you, and being as competitive as we can on a national and international sort of scale.
That definitely would be great to see. I mean, because then it elevates everything, and it use the money and the revenue generated by the teams being in the top flight improves the city tenfold, which would be absolutely amazing. Okay, to Sunday lunchtime. How bad is it going to be? Wednesday 3, 4, 5-0. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think Sheffield United is going to score. I'll tell you that right now.
I can see it being close. I can, honestly. My frustration is that because you're in such poor form, your manager knows exactly which buttons to push. He's a Sheffield lad. He's a Unitedite. It's that cliche. I do think form will go out the window, and as it happens, I think you're in a slightly better position form-wise than we are at the minute. But United, you guys get up for it. You shithouses whenever you play against us. We've got that, and it just means a lot. And one of the things that we didn't have as Wednesday last season, we had a manager that knew his stuff, and he was good for you can say what you want about him from a Wednesday perspective. He will go on and do great things in the game, and I can see him managing the Champions League at the top level in the next 5 years because he is that good. But behind him, Henrik Pedersen was also somebody who, again, was held in a similar regard and had that similar sort of reputation before he came in. And people behind the scenes were sort of saying that he was, almost the brains behind Danny Rule, if you like. Danny didn't quite get it right last year in terms of what it meant to Sheffield in terms of Derby Day. He approached it as a game of football that he knew how to go and approach and try and win. Whereas I think what we need as a club is we need people that care about the badge. We need those people in the stands to sort of get behind you, because when United come to town, that's something that they will absolutely do. You'll come, you'll fill their pins lane, and you'll make some noise. The manager will gesticulate, and he'll be on the sideline. He'll be the pantomime villain. He knows what we think of him as a fan base, and I think he leans into that, and that's all sort of that psychological first step, if you like, that potentially could give you an edge. So we're going to have to be at it from the minute that the game kicks off.
Yeah. It should be a very, very interesting prospect come Sunday. Hopefully both sides are up for it, and it's just not, I don't see how either side is not going to be up for it. You can put the tag relegation derby on it. But yeah, it should be an interesting outcome. Before we get out of here, Stevie, tell the people where they can find the podcast if they want to go in and see what the enemy is doing.
So we are the Wednesday Week. We are on all social media platforms. We're most prominent on X, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We do have a TikTok account as well. Just type in the Wednesday Week, you'll find us there. We go out regularly on a Monday night. We've got additional content that goes out throughout the week as well. We are award winning. We're Best Podcast, Club Creative Podcast 2024. So we've got a couple of weeks before that gets taken away from us. We're the reigning Best Content Podcast. So yeah, we do good stuff. We've got a lot of charitable work that we do as well, and we're a merry bunch of men and women that talk all things Sheffield Wednesday.
Good deal. Definitely give them a. It sounds like a pretty cool deal over there. Give them a listen, even though you don't like the enemy. But if you haven't done so, Red F Sheffield everywhere you find us: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, whatever you want. We're on there somewhere. But until this Sunday, and then I am back to do another match preview, I will leave you with Up the Blades.